Hello, my name is Steve Gearhart, and this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you very much for watching today. For those of you who went to Otakon, I hope you had a wonderful and lovely time there. I was going to go, but life and work intervened, and I didn't get to go. And I'm sad. Anyway, so today's video is going to be a nostalgic trip back to the past, part of my childhood. I was at the Pratt Library and I happened to see this DVD set of Johnny Sokko and his Flying Robot, also known in Japan as simply Giant Robot. Wanting to indulge my inner child, I went ahead and rented it and watched all the episodes all over again as if I were a kid. So today's video, Johnny Sokko and his Flying Robot. Now, if you're like me, you come from a time where you were pre-cable, or actually cable wasn't in the form as it was today. There was no internet, no streaming services. You actually had to watch network TV, or you had to have rabbit ears on your TV to watch certain channels, like in the DC area it's called Channel 20. One of the shows they used to show after school when I got home was Johnny Sokko and his Flying Robot. It is a tokusatsu kind of production wherein basically it's people inside of suits that are supposed to represent, you know, giant kaiju and a giant robot fighting the kaiju like Ultraman over a model city and kind of stomping everything and destroying stuff and just having these wonderful little battles. And this particular show, like so many from Japan, there's so many of these, but this is one of the ones that actually made it to America. So a lot of people around my time actually know this show. And it's had a voice cast that was very similar to Speed Racer. A lot of people who did the voices here also did Speed Racer. Was it Aqua Boy? I think you can find a couple of Simba voice actors in here from time to time. It's when they did the dubbing for American audience. Now, the unique thing about this particular show is that it was not that heavily edited because of violence. It was violent. But it was normal standard for Japan, but not for America, where they actually show a kid, 10 years old, maybe a little bit younger, actually shooting a pistol at one point. So it's kind of unique in that they actually showed the violence in this one, whereas even in the anime that they brought over, they actually edited out that violence, a lot of violence that was in the anime. So what was the show about? It's a giant robot, okay, fights kaiju, and so what's the overall theme? Well, it's kind of like Ultraman, just like all the other ones, where it's basically a nasty, villainous emperor from outer space comes to Earth in the hopes of taking Earth over and adding to the empire. The bad guy's name is the very evil Emperor Guillotine. Yes, that's the name that translates. Emperor Guillotine. So he keeps sending these kaiju out, and this giant robot comes out, literally giant robot, that's his name, comes out and fights the kaiju, and at the end of the episode everyone wins, everyone's happy, yay! But it's kind of unique in that this giant robot is kind of like some of the anime giant robots, in that the story is around a boy who controls the robot, but not from within, but from a control set. So the story goes like this. Johnny Sokko, who's by himself on a ship that's going out in the ocean with a bunch of other people, and knowing that there have been kaiju attacks on boats, and he's on a boat with a secret agent from an agency called Unicorn. Yes, Unicorn. And they meet up and they become friends, and then the boat is attacked and they jump off the ship, swim to an island, and on that island Emperor Guillotine and his men, the Fire Gang, or they were called something else when it came over from America, something monkeys, I forget. Anyway, as they're running around the island trying to escape the bad guys, they walk into this lab and they see this giant robot. And basically it has to be activated, and it takes an an atomic explosion to get it started. And once it started, the first voice it hears through the control module is the only voice that it will respond to, that it will obey. Now, of course, in the ensuing episode, the atomic bomb goes off. Of course, this is back in the 60s. This series was made in 1967, ran through 1968, where they thought atomic wars, or nuclear wars, could be winnable. Don't get me started. And so the robot starts off, and it's discovered that only Johnny Sokko can control the robot. So he goes on to his first battle, defeats the sea monster kaiju, and they go on to adventures of creating a Japanese adventure secret government group that is fighting against Emperor Guillotine. And that's how the rest of the series runs. And this is delicious late 1960s, early 70s schlock that you get from Japan, kaiju schlock. It is wonderful. It is amazing. It's just so drinkable game. You can make a drinking game out of it. It's just amazing. But like I said earlier, it's kind of unusual in that they actually show things that normally would have been edited out, like a 10-year-old with a firearm shooting and actually killing people. People actually die in this show. Now, granted, they're just faceless henchmen, although are any henchmen really faceless? I don't think so. But anyway, so these guys, so this little 10-year-old boy is actually killing people, and then he's controlling a robot that kills giant kaiju. It lasts about 26 episodes. It's, like I said, it's actually pretty good. You get what you... Sorry, Baltimore is under like a threat of storms since yesterday, so that's what that noise was. An alert on my phone. Anyway, so he calls out commands to the giant robot, like, giant robot, atomic smash, and you see the thing doing that. Or he shoots bullets from his fingertips, or he has eye rays and things like that. And it's just this glorious kaiju tokusatsu battle, and it's just wonderful. If you are a fan of old Godzilla movies, like, you know, back in the 60s, or if you're a fan of Power Rangers, this is definitely going to be up your alley. I would tell you to go ahead if you have an afternoon just to watch. Even if you just watch 3 or 4 of them, it'll just leave you happy because it's just so gloriously schlocky. It's just so much fun. Okay, so that's it for Johnny Sokko and his flying robot. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. You know, we're almost to 100 subscribers. I know for many YouTube channels that's nothing. For me, it's a personal love. I would love it if we got to 100. It just means a lot to me. And if you do, then I might actually see if I can get you guys a free digital taco or something. So let's try and get that up to 100 subscribers. I am also going to be actually opening up a Facebook site related to this. It'll be, of course, the Untitled Observer. Once it's set up, I'll set the links down below. And there's going to be other stuff on there that you'll have access to that is not on the channel, but I might reference to. One of the things is going to be a Spotify channel. If you have Spotify, go ahead and look at it. It's Steve Unagi. And kind of look at it. I already have about 3 or 4 playlists up there, and I have one related to this called Johnny Sokko Must Die. So it has a lot of punk to it, and it has some J-pop punk to it as well. So anyway, my name is Steve Gerhardt. This is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for watching. Let's get to 100 so I can get you a digital taco, and you guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.